Hi, welcome to another quick tip from Think Creative TV. Hope that you enjoy this, and if you do, it'd be great if you could subscribe and click the like button below. But let's get started with our tip of the day. So let's take a look at how we can use Teams for assessment. There's a couple of different things that we can do within Class Notebook that's going to enable us to create some assessment opportunities. So let's jump in and take a look at what they look like. So I'm going to go into my notebook, and for this I'm going to go just in and create a new page, and let's just say how are you feeling today? Okay, and all I want to do is ask the students, let us know how you are doing in just one word. So it's just a really simple activity here. Now, we looked in previous videos at how you can distribute these quite easily. So I'm going to come up here and tap on Class Notebook, and I'm going to tap on Distribute Page. And I want to distribute this page to all of my students, but I'm specifically going to put this within the quizzes section. Okay, so this is the place where they know they're going to be getting little activities, little things that I'm going to ask them questions around. And again, you can rename this if quizzes doesn't work for your students, but I'm just going to distribute it to this section here. So that's just really going to quickly create that page individually for each one of those students. Remember, we said that students don't see each other's work. So what it's doing behind the scenes is creating this as a separate entity for each one of those students. It tells me on the screen that that is now done. So if I come back and then I go down to quizzes, you'll see that that has now created that for that student, which gives them the place to be able to edit and add in their responses. So obviously I'm on the teacher view at the moment. On the student view, they're going to see exactly the same screen, and they'd be able to come in here and give me a response and tell me, how they're feeling in just one word, whatever it might be. Now, this obviously is just your assessment for learning opportunity, just a check-in with the students. It's not necessarily that I'm going to do this as a full-on formative assessment process where I want to know grades and formal feedback and all those things. It's just really simple way just to engage with my student. If I then want to review what they've done, you'll notice across the top there is a tab that enables me to review student work. So I can go ahead and tap on that. Tap on Review Student Work here, and it's going to show me all of the students and a list simply down here. Within quizzes, how are you feeling today? Here was the activity that I've set for them. So I want to review this. And you'll see that, I would have all of my students down here, but I've got the one student I want to have a look at. I can tap on that one student, and then that's going to show me the work that they've done over here. So I can instantly start to review the work of individual students to be able to have a look. And then obviously within that, I can then add things to their page. Now I was already on that page, so let's just take a look at how that looks. Let's come away from this. So I'm going to go to Review Student Work, go through the process again, just so you can see the workflow. So Review Student Work. Again, it's going to ask me the different pages that I've set up. It's in quizzes. It's the how are you feeling activity. I can tap on that student's name. It loads up that student's work, so you can see how this is taking me directly to that page. And at this point then I can, go back and use all of my tools and draw on the page, leave stickers, etc. All of those things that we've looked at previously on how to add things in. So a really quick way to just quickly search through reviewing students' work. The students been able to edit their work within Notebook. They haven't had to leave this and add things in a different way. Although they could, if they wanted to add something in more detail, they could just simply drag and drop or upload a document from somewhere else on their device onto this page. If I want to go further though, and I wanted to add in something a little bit more detailed for my students from an assessment point of view, there is a way to do that within Teams as well. So I'm actually going to come out of Notebook and then go back into Teams. So I'm just going to find that, jump into Teams here. And I'm going to jump into our class and go to more. And this time, instead of going into the class notebook, I'm actually going to tap on assignments. And this is where I can create an assignment specifically for my students. A little bit more detail, a little bit more emphasis on this is going to be something that's going to be graded. I can add in rubrics, etc., grading grids, all things to support my students. I tap on get started, and I can start with this blank slate. There are ways where you can copy assignments over. We'll take a look at that later, but I just need to tap on the plus on the top. And then I choose, what I want to do. Here's that place where if you've already created an assignment, you can just choose from existing. So is an assignment, is it going to be a simple quiz? I'm actually going to go with an open assignment. Takes you through all of these steps, really, really simple to use. End of year, report. You can enter your instructions into this then. So what detail do you want to add in? Choose your way of demonstrating learning. Add in resources if there's anything you want to add as support. Could be pictures, there's all sorts of things that you can add in here. Could be web links to things you want to read about. Anything that you've created could be a complete overview, etc. So lots of things that you can add in. Choose the points that you want to have for this. So I'm going to say it's 100 points, and you can also then add in rubrics. So it makes it a real easy place for you to be able to mark things. If you're using rubrics or marking matrices, whatever you want to call them, you can simply add that in. I've created some before within this. It's really, really simple and easy to do. If I just click on one of these, I could just add that in, and you'll see that you have, what is it that you want to see, what's the criteria, and what's the grades that you're going to distribute for each one of those things. So obviously it takes a little bit of thinking about how it's going to match up to the assignment, but it is there as a really, really useful tool. Here's where you assign it. So I'm just going to assign it to the class that I've made before, but obviously if you've got multiple classes, you can choose which class it's going to go into. And also, it might not be that you want this to go to all of your students. This might just go to a select few students. Some students might be taking this earlier than others, etc. So you have full control of that. And then finally, within this, you've got your due date, when you're expecting it to be handed in, and at what time do you want it handed in. Okay, so there's lots of things that you can choose in there. Once you click on assign, that's created that as an assignment. It's then going to send that out to my students as an assigned area. We'll come back to the idea of marked assignments, etc. See, I get a notification on my device. Students would also then get that notification. If I go back into files, this will, posts even. This will appear in a second as a new post to remind everybody that they have an assignment that's due. Usually just takes a while to come in. There we go. It should be there now. So here's that end of year report. I can click on it, click on view assignment. I can see then the students that have handed it in or not handed it in, and then I can click on here to leave feedback and leave a score. So a couple of different ways there that you can look at assessment, be it that nice kind of in-class or remote way of just checking in with students, find out their understanding, do that in class notebook, assign it through quizzes, or you can do more formal assessment processes here as assignments, complete with feedback, etc. So there we go, assignments and assessments within Teams and Class Notebook.